All right, Nolan King here for MMA Junkie, and we're joined by UFC middleweight Kevin Holland, who was supposed to fight a couple of weeks ago at UFC London. Obviously, that didn't happen. But Kevin, what have you been up to since then, man? How's the quarantine life treating you?
It's pretty good, man. Video games, running the store as much as possible, and that's about it. So I can get out the house.
So let's kind of go through this chronologically. Obviously, like I said, you were supposed to fight March 21st in London. Couple days before the event, like five or so, it was canceled. Where were you in the process? It was the day before you flew out, right?
Yeah. So I woke up, and it was like the day we were supposed to fly out. I was about to go, get the bags finished, packed up, and everything. And then I looked on my phone, and my manager hit me up and was like, "Yeah, everything's canceled. You're not gonna go anywhere." So I was like, that sucks." So I was still kind of at the house in the process of getting ready to go. So it wasn't that bad.
So when you get into a situation like that where your fight's canceled, and I guess the word they're using is postponed, but there's no date where you're going to be rescheduled. Obviously, there's a plethora of travel issues. How do you even handle that mentally when you get up the next day? Are you going back to the gym to train? Are you kind of hitting the reset button? What do you do from there?
So since we knew that the fight was gonna more likely be off, and it was a fight week, we just kind of like tapered down, try to keep the weight low just in case they did find a venue or anything like that. And then after they said no, it's just not going to completely happen, we were like, okay, well, there's other fight cards coming up. Maybe since people can't fly, we'll be able to jump in here, or jump in there, or do this or do that. So just kept training until ultimately they shut the gyms down, and then now it's like Fight Club. Can't really speak on it too much.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what you're doing on the day to day now. You're still hitting the gym. You're kind of staying, in semi-fight shape to be able to get one of these short notice calls. It seems like there may be those opportunities with the way that these events are rolling.
Yeah, so try and stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. You know what I mean? So, it's like every opportunity we can, we sneak in somewhere, do a little something, stick it with the same partners, don't switch up partners, try and stay as close to smart about this thing as possible. But at the end of the day, you're still taking risks. But, at the end of the day, I want to fight. So the risk is worth the reward to me.
And I saw a couple of fighters, including yourself, came out on social media today, talked about how you guys got compensated for this event, even though you didn't fight. Overall, how happy were you to be able to make some money off of that? Because, that was up in the air for a while there.
If it wasn't going to happen, I was going to take it for what it was. But, it did happen. So, really grateful. You know what I mean? Great company to work for, right? It makes it even better when they're doing stuff like that. In the time of need, they're looking out for their athletes. That's a blessing. That's great. It's, really great to have.
And pairing in that tweet that when you thanked the UFC for the compensation, you also mentioned that you're kind of, staying ready for April 18th if they came calling with a lot of the Russian fighters pulling out of, or seemingly pulling out of this card, and whatever other travel issues they're going to encounter. If they call you, you don't have any worries about traveling to the hidden warehouse and on some Indian reservation or whatever to fight in the midst of this crisis.
No. That's like a picture perfect fight right there. You know what I mean? Something private. That's Fight Club, right? You don't really talk about it. So, yeah, if something was to pop up, something wasn't happening where I got to fight, man, I'm more than happy. You know what I'm saying? That's essential to me. I got to fight. You know what I mean? I'm stuck in the house, not doing nothing, shadow boxing. My dog's looking at me like I'm crazy. He's like, "What are you doing, dude? You're like tripping." But, I look at him the same way when he licks his butt. So it's okay.
And I know you're big, you're a guy that likes to kind of look at what's next in terms of your opponents. You're not somebody that shies away from kind of engaging in trash talk battles or anything. Is there anybody out there maybe that you're kind of hoping to get next? Obviously, I know this thing muddies everything for everyone, but is there any names out there? I'm assuming Jack Marshman's probably not going to, being an international fighter, that might not be the one to happen, but any names out there?
Anybody local can get the smoke. You know what I mean? It's like I'm down for anybody, anywhere. Doesn't really matter to me. You know what I mean? Be nice to get somebody from the Rufus camp again. You know what I mean? We're 1-1. I got what was it? I got Gerald Mershart. Allen got me. You know what I mean? We're 1-1. So settle that score up. Go up one. That'd be nice. Another striker, so I can, a grappler. The last guy on the roster, the top guy on the roster, maybe I drop down to 70 and beat up Woodley. He act like he really want to fight. He's with the Rufus camp. I don't know. Whoever wants it, I want the smoke.
My last question for you, there's been a lot of talk too about safety precautions with this whole thing. Should the UFC try to implement, some type of testing beforehand? Judging by what you're saying, there seems to be the common theme here that all that stuff is to the side for you. You don't really care, but would you like to see that type of thing implemented before you step in the cage, or is that just
Yeah.
fight with or without it?
Yeah, test us if they feel like that's what they need to do to make sure that the fight can go through. I mean, test us if you want to test us after the fight. Test us after the fight. I mean, before, after, whatever you need to do, so that way we can fight. Let's do it. I feel like the coronavirus is. I mean, they're saying one moment it was you can't shake hands. Next moment it was 3 feet. Next moment it was 6 feet. Then it was airborne. I mean, I'm no scientist. I don't know nothing about this. I mean, but I'm hearing, a lot of people getting it and they don't show no symptoms and they fight it off very well. There's a lot more recoveries than there is deaths. So, I mean, if it's another fight that we have to go through, it's a fight that I'm willing to take, especially if we get the fight on top of it. I love it.
All right, man. Well, I'm wishing you all the best. I'm hoping to see you back in there, whether, hopefully safely, but if we see you back in there before then, good luck and take care, Eric, man. Appreciate the time.
All right, thank you, man. And anybody overseas that want to fight, we can get on the UFC video game. I may not be on there, but I can choose any character that they want me to choose, and I will still gladly give them the SmackDown like it was WWE.
There you go. Awesome, man. Appreciate the time.
All right, man. Thank you.